In the Hoenn region, no one wants to be the best, like no one ever was. Most folks want to work hard and make an honest living. The people and the Pokemon of this land are hard. I'm not just talking about the rock types. No, sir. People and Pokemon here work for their keep, working in tandem to tame a small spot of this brutal land. While some folks turn to their work, take from the land, others turn to each other and take from them. By fear or violence, these bandits and their Pokemon, they take from the honest and give to themselves. Some take honor to avenge those fallen. Some take glory, trying to scream at an otherwise empty, uncaring desert that they meant something. Others just take for gold. This isn't the story of the very best. No, sir. This might be the tale of the downright worst this region has ever seen. Welcome to A Fistful of Pokeballs, a Western-inspired Pokemon D&D role-playing podcast. Join us as we become the very best at being the very worst. Hey guys, I'm Lucas, and I play Jedidiah Moonstone, the young man who grew up as a farm boy till the bank took away his family's farm, which led him towards a path of poverty and crime and being a bandit.
Hey, it's JFK here, playing Trigo Factoria. Young, naive bandito wannabe who read Don Quixote and is taking role-playing a little too seriously.
Howdy, I'm Ryan. I play Fredrick the Phantom Mayor, Hoenn Civil War veteran and all-around badass bandito.
And I'm Jack the DM. So where we last left our posse, Frederick's fire-type Cyndaquil lit some makeshift tinder to torch a Tauros grazing field, scattering the pursuing Aquarius Union, leading to a speedy getaway. Our posse just recently spills out of the back of the trail, finding themselves at the base of Route 117 with the sun beginning to set. So, gentlemen, you guys find yourself in a large kind of clearing of the woods that you guys notice at least. It's a small, peaceful meadow that is surrounded by evergreens and dotted with flowers and tiny ponds. Many ranches are built into the forest's edge, with aquatic Pokemon dwelling, sometimes poking their heads out of the water, while forest creatures waltz in the fields. The party sees three major landmarks in front of them, one of them being a fork in the road. To the left, you see a little bit of some lakes as the sun is starting to set, and to the right, you see kind of a warm glow in the distance. Which way would you guys like to go?
I pipe up and say, hey, we head east, go down the right fork, that takes us right to the cottage. That way we can lay low for a bit and have a little safe house.
Whatever gets us out of the open.
These both take us east, right? Or do
They are
split?
both taking you east, yes. The split is literally taking you east. One is a northern path, one is a little bit of a southern path.
I don't know, Trigo. I'm not sure I trust that glow in the distance. That sounds like a campfire or houses to me.
This is a pretty main road. While granted we don't want to be walking totally out in the open, we can walk in the woods alongside of it and kind of stay hidden. And then, like, my cottage kind of sits by itself. I don't really have neighbors there. So if we can just sneak around it, we should be good. It's not a far walk, maybe an hour or so.
So there's ranches around, right?
Yeah.
Is there like a clothesline or anything around?
You notice that there is a clothesline in the dim glow down the way. You notice a clothesline from a ranch sitting by. It looks like the woman's put them up and is kind of left, so it is wide open.
Boys, I think, I intend to keep my coat. I think it would be best for a change of duds here.
So you guys are going down towards the glow?
At least as far as the ranch.
We'll head down that way, at least so we can change clothes.
Okay. Real quick, Frederick, roll me just a raw d20 real quick.
That is an 8.
You notice most of them are women's clothes, and there is one jacket that a man your size could wear.
Oh, I already have a jacket, and I think the mustache that Frederick bears would be a pretty dead giveaway that he is not of the fairer sex. So, how old is Trigo?
I like to think I'm like 18 or 19. I'm a pretty young faced. I don't know how tall you are, but for some reason I was picturing that we are similar in height. I just have a baby face compared to you.
Oh, although then then Frederick takes a dress off the line and tosses it to you.
And I look at it. I'm like, well, if it must
He
be.
takes. Are you wearing a hat, like a bandito hat?
Oh hell
presumably?
yeah! I'm dressed in all black.
I think he takes your hat and he says, I'll hold on to your hat for you. I know it's hard to separate from a nice hat, but I think for the sake of anonymity, you might need to throw these on.
Do you want my boots too?
No, I think just the hat.
All right, so here's kind of what I'm picturing. I kind of like undress real quick. I take off the vest and whatnot, black pants, throw the dress on, but I still have like these black boots, silver spurs on them because I have no concept of what things actually cost. And I look way out of place, but I am rocking that dress.
All right.
That's a roll,
Jedidiah,
sir. That is a roll to see you're rocking that dress.
Jedidiah, can you roll me with your perception modifier real quick?
I got a nat 20 on rocking the dress, by the way.
Nat 20 rocket, perfect.
Just a straight D20 plus Dex, you said?
Sorry, plus your perception.
Okay, perception is wisdom. Alright, that is 18 plus 1.
Okay, so you start to hear someone coming behind you. You turn around, but it's just a regular dude. He puts his hands in the air. He says, "Hey, I don't want to judge whatever you two fellas are doing out here. You know, to each their own. We got a small camp out here that we've set up. We're trying to get some bacon. We're trying to get some beans cooked. We have plenty for everyone. We're just on our way to Verndorf. If you guys would like to camp out with us for the night, we'd be more than welcome to accommodate you. We're unarmed. If you want anything, you can take it. We're just offering you a place to hang your hat for the time being."
I think we do a quick side
Thank
huddle.
you, sir. Side huddle.
I don't know about this, guys.
What do we think, boys?
The cottage is
mean-
only like an hour or so away. It's not a very far walk.
I mean, the whole point of us going towards the cottage at all is to avoid eyes.
If I can chime in here, well, that's true. He's already seen our faces. So as far as robbing an unarmed group of campers, I think that plan flew out the window as soon as he got a look at us. So I think Trigo, the best thing to do would be to go to your cabin. I think we need to avoid prying eyes.
I agree, and he might say that he's unarmed and he just wants let us stay. Who the fuck does that? Like, to me,
I'm
that's
going
just
to break out of a huddle here and just say to the guy, "Thanks for your kindness, but my compatriots and I are lone wolf types, and we're trying to set up camp just a little bit closer to Marvel."
Well, there, fella, there's something I've learned about lone wolves. They tend to eat each other when they're hungry.
Well, I think that'd be our business and not yours, partner.
Take it or leave it. I'm heading back whether you want to or not. I know quite well, though, that the couple down the street that you're tending to rob might not take it too kindly. Now, I said I'll let bygones be bygones. I'm heading back to my camp. It's going to start to get dark, and something fearsome's going to come on out. But to each their own. And he starts to make his way back to his camp.
I say we let him.
That sound like a threat to anyone else?
Frederick is very upset at the fact that they've seen his face, so now he can't attack them, because if someone gets away, his identity's revealed. But he's definitely got a finger on the trigger, like his hand is on his iron.
Can I roll perception to see if I can see that?
See what what he's doing?
Yeah, like hand on the gun.
For
he's not
Frederick?
Yeah.
For Frederick or for the
For Frederick.
man? For Frederick? Frederick says
I'm
he's not hiding it.
Yeah.
You're close enough to where you can see it.
Oh.
The guy who came up to talk to you could not. He was just kind of like it was just kind of like, it was too dark, so he's like, I can't really see what's going on exactly, so he's not really aware yet. You
Is
guys
it
can.
too late for me to roll an insight check?
You can roll an insight check.
Okay.
In fact, all of you can if you would like.
Yeah,
I got a 13.
I got a
13.
12.
12.
10.
From what you could tell, he is 100% honest with you. He is absolutely unarmed. He's making his way back. You can actually see as he's getting closer to the fire, there's no weapons on his belt. There's no, literally approached you guys without anything, arming himself, and just sat down with his partner and started making beans.
How many people are in the camp?
Just 2.
I mean, look, I think he turns to the other 2 gentlemen with him and he goes, I've had basically two robberies go bad on me in a day. I've been down on my luck since the end of the war for reasons that will be left unsaid until I know you two better, but clearly I'm not apt for making decisions on what to do next. And he points at Trigo and he says, you've got a screw loose. I'm a bandito and you don't want this life, kid. And then he points at Jedidiah and he says, you might have the most decent head on your shoulders of anybody in this trio anyway. What's our move, Gab?
That's a scary thought there. My best bet is we stick to the shadows here and lay low in this cottage for a week or so if we can.
So you guys start to make your way down the path. You start to see the warmth of the fire kind of dissipate in the background as you get further and further out. All of a sudden, you start to hear a rustle in the bushes. You start to hear a rustle in the forest that you are clinging to the side of. Roll me a nature check. For only Trigo, roll me a nature check. That should be wisdom, right?
Intelligence, actually.
Intelligence.
Man, I'm really average right now. I got 11. So 12 minus 1.
11. Okay. So you just know that there's something in there, and it is a lot bigger than a tiny creature. So it is not anything small. It is definitely a little bit larger, but you can't make out what it actually is. Jedidiah, would you like to roll perception?
Yes. I did not roll well. That is a 5.
There is something in the woods. Would you guys like to continue moving? Or would you like to make it onto the main would you like to keep clinging to the shadows, or would you like to come... What would you like to do?
I want to first elbow Fredrick and see if he can clock anything.
I'll do perception.
Roll me a perception.
10. Or sorry, a 9.
A 9. Something's in the woods, and you can hear a wing beat. That's the only thing you can make out, though.
I think Frederick's impulse is always shoot first, ask questions later. He throws Cyndaquil out and has him tackle the general direction of the shadow.
Alright, Fredrick is going to go first. Jedi and Trigo, can you guys roll me an initiative?
19.
I have a general question about initiative.
Yes.
Normally it's supposed to be plus the dex modifier, right?
Yes.
For
I believe so.
Are we using Pokemon dexes or trainer dexes?
Is your Pokemon out?
No.
Then yours. If it's out, then it can make it a move on its own, but it's gonna be... Because it has to listen to your orders, from what I know, so it can't really be just doing its own thing.
Alright, that makes sense. Doesn't matter
question,
anyway, because I rolled a nat 1.
Alright, so I got my orders. So by the looks of it, we are going to have... It's going to be Fredrick first, Trigo second, Jedi third, with the creature or creatures moving somewhere in between. Cyndaquil starts for a tackle. Immediately, right off the bat, roll me a attack roll with disadvantage, since you're attacking blind, technically.
16, that is a 3 plus 1, or plus 2 is a 5, so I doubt that hits.
That will miss. So, you are going to miss. Cyndaquil is going to kind of jump into the nothingness that is the woods. All of a sudden, 4 Lediva are going to emerge straight out of the forest and kind of stand towering over you. Cyndaquil is in the woods. His attack missed. Trigo, you're up next.
How many are there? You said 4, right?
4 of them, yep.
I'm going to attack the one on the far right, and I am going to use... I think I'm going to use Confusion on it, so I'll make a ranged attack on that.
Gotcha. Okay, so your Abra is going to attack the far left one, you said?
Far right.
Far right, excuse me. And then roll me an attack.
I rolled a 6.
6. That is going to miss. So Abra's going to kind of like put its hands to its head to try to really get into the Ladybuzz's mind, but it's kind of like just buzzing too loud for it to really kind of get to you, or even in its mind, all that it hears is, or all it's processing through its brain is just loud insect buzzing, so it can't really make any headway in there. Next up, Ladybug number 1 is going to attack Cyndaquil since it just charged in there.
Alright.
That is going to definitely miss. So the Ladybug kind of charges for a tackle into the woods, straight up misses, and kind of like floats on backwards. The second Ladybug is going to attack, and is going to attack Abra. It's also going to miss, but this time it's going to crash right into the ground in front of Abra, kind of like it went for a tackle. It's floating through the air, it tucks its elbow in, and just slams straight into the ground.
Nice.
The third Ladybug is going to attack, and it is going to attack Teddy. What's Teddy's AC?
13.
So this one's actually going to... It's going to make contact, but it's not going to do damage. Teddy is a pretty hefty dude, so it's going to kind of duck its shoulder, or its arm kind of again, like the first and second one did, but it's going to just kind of hit Teddy, and Teddy just kind of like put its hands out and push it off it, kind of like it brace for the impact and push it off entirely. It doesn't really hit. And that leaves Teddy for the next attack.
Teddy the Tank, let's go. I'm going to use a move I have called Covet. You strike out with a quick and sticky hands, make a melee attack roll against a creature, doing damage on a hit. If I successfully attack, I steal the creature's held item, if it has one.
Okay. Let me roll real quick. You notice, roll me a perception check. Real quick.
Okay, this is me.
Yes, this is you.
Alright. I need to change dice. That was a nat 1.
Ooh, baby.
From what you can see, it's too dark. You can't tell if any of them actually are holding items on their person. That doesn't mean that there aren't anything there.
I am still using this attack on the Ladybug that just attacked Teddy. New dice. Let's see what we do with the attack roll. Not great. That was a 5.
5. Alright, so Teddy is going to kind of try to like... Teddy tries to be really stealthy, tries to kind of like sweep, like tries to like fake it out, but the Ladybug's kind of smart about it, just kind of like floats away. It knows it's a little bit quicker than you, and Teddy is spaced out too much. The fourth Ladybug is going to attack, and it is going to come out at Teddy. Same thing. The Ladybug is not going to be able to find anything. It's not going to be able to hit anything. It's going to try to go for kind of like a punch. It's going to try to like cross the Cyndaquil, but it's going to whiff. Cyndaquil is going to kind of like duck out of it. That brings us back to the top with Fredrick.
Alright, Cyndaquil is going to try for another tackle on... Have we done any damage to any of the Ladybugs?
Nope, just a bunch of misses.
Alright, so I guess whichever one's closest to my Cyndaquil. That is a 14 plus 2 is a 16.
Oh, that's going to hit.
Alright, so that is going to be a d6 of damage. That is 4 damage.
4 damage. Alright, this Ladybug is pretty hurt. Now, they're ladybugs, but they are, very kind of fragile creatures. So, while this Ladybug is not, out for the count, it kind of realizes that, losing that much, taking that much damage right off the bat is a little too much for one way to go. So he's going to kind of back off a little bit. He's going to start to flee the scene. The other Ladybug, though, do not believe that you can take them. So there are 3 others that have to be dealt with.
Fredrick just shouts out, "Yeah, Cyndaquil, let's take care of these bugs."
That brings us to Trigo.
Alright, I am going to attack whatever the furthest on the right is. Gonna try to hit it with another confusion. And I rolled an 8.
With the modifiers?
That's with everything.
Gotcha. So yeah, he's gonna same as before. Buzzing is too much. Anything else before your turn ends?
No, I can't think of anything. I'm more just like surprised that Abra missed twice in a row. I was like, what the hell? She never misses like that.
So before the Ledybuzz can get their turn, you notice that the bystander who'd invited you to their camp has come up, kind of like waving his hands, shooting firearms, trying to freak him out. And the Ledybuzz are like, okay, this was a 3v4, now it's a 3v3, now it's a 4v3. We're outmatched here. So after seeing a fourth person come, they're going to leave. They're going to start to kind of like back away. You can attack them with, since they are disengaging, if you would like, or you can address the fact that there is a man running at you with the firearm.
Hell yeah, Fredrick's gonna keep attacking.
Alright, roll me with... Do you roll with advantage if they're disengaging?
That's up to you there, partner.
You're gonna get it because they're flying pretty low.
Alright, that's a 16, and that is a 9. So I will take 16, and that is another d6. I'm gonna attack the same one I hit already.
That one fled into... Oh, well, he was disengaging. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
How much damage you doing to him?
That is another 2 damage.
He's okay.
4 though, because it's a bug and you. No, you didn't hit him with fire. My bad.
Yeah, it's not fire.
Yeah, that's.
So that's gonna. Yeah, he's gonna be hurt. He's gonna be pretty hurt, but he's gonna keep it moving. Trigo, are you gonna address the man coming towards you, or are you gonna take a pot shot?
I am going to address the guy coming towards us. I am gonna tell Abra to stand in between us, and I don't know if an Abra can do this, so we'll leave it up to you. But when an Abra's using confusion, I would like to imagine its eyes have a glow to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like in the anime with yeah, definitely.
Can I have Abra just do the eye glow as she stands in between me and this guy?
I will do it like this. Abra is using it to just kind of like get in your mind, but it's not doing damage. It's just trying to like, because in order to use its psychic powers, that's when its eyes close. So it's activating the effect, but it's not doing damage, which is why it's doing that for intimidation. So you're good.
I yell at the guy, "Stop what you're doing."
So the guy, hands in the air, drops the gun. He's like, "Whoa there, fella. I'm just here to help. Like I said, you guys didn't take my warning."
Whoa. Fredrick turns around. You said you were unarmed. And then he rolls back his gun.
I was unarmed. I approached you without firearms. We left him at the camp.
I think Fredrick looks at Jedidiah for a signal as to how to proceed.
All right.
If it wasn't for this firearm, you guys would be having a little bit of a more bug situation than you would have appreciated.
And we were doing just fine on our own. What gives you the right to come up on us?
I would like to say the same person who's bare face planted.
For the record, he should not know that.
That's fair. Okay, sorry, yes. I should say the same. Episode. I should say the same after seeing you guys whiff not 1, not 2, but 3 attacks. Now, granted, you guys did fine with those, but when the mother showed up, you would have had a little bit more trouble.
So you say.
You're not from around these parts, are you?
What's it to you?
Well, I just hate to see a good life wasted, or a life wasted in your situation.
Can I roll perception to see where his buddy is?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 14.
His buddy is at the camp. He is not anywhere, or at least not anywhere in your general vicinity.
Okay.
I like to think now, telepathically, I tell Abra to cool it with the glowing eyes and just stare at the guy.
Alright.
I think I walk up, sort of get up in his face a little bit, and say, since we met, you have been a thorn in our side. You can step back to your camp and never see us again, or you can start having real problems with us.
I think with that, Fredrick calls Cyndaquil back over and just has him do like a little, where Cyndaquil kind of like tucks his arms in and blows his nose so the flames get a little higher.
Sure. Alright, so Cyndaquil's going to kind of like rev up his back flare a little bit, and he's be like, look, you know what? I'm tired of wasting my time. You guys want to camp out here? That's fine. We're going to be over there. If I see you coming, though, I'm calling my guys out, and we're going to have us a scrap. If you stay over here and you stay away from me, that's fine.
That's all we ever wanted.
This guy's
Alrighty then.
full of lies. He said there were guys. He's only got one guy at the camp. He said he was unarmed. He has a gun.
He takes his belt off and he has 3 Pokeballs on them, and he's like, "These guys are the ones you don't want to meet."
I think at this point, I just look at the guys and say, let's just get out of here.
Agreed. Let's go. Fuck this guy.
I think Fredrick keeps Cyndaquil out because it can illuminate some light on the path, and they just keep walking.
Wait, you guys don't have dark vision?
No.
You're right. You would have told me if you had dark vision.
Yeah, so I would have already.
Classic D&D jokes.
All right, so this dude kind of like kicks the dirt, walks away. You guys realize that it is getting dark. You should probably make a camp at this point because you may disagree, but the dude is right. At night, they're a little bit more active, and you could probably get into something a little bit more dangerous.
I thought the cabin was only an hour away.
It is. It's a little still going to be dark though, so you also made a little bit of noise.
Maybe
you can push it,
30,
but I will say
15 minutes in full dark, you're saying?
Yeah, in full dark at least. It's about to be full dark. Or
Okay.
no, it is full dark. You were by a little light that gave a little bit of illumination, so like partial light or partially lit. Now you're heading into just straight darkness. You won't be able to see in front of you. Cyndaquil is only going to be able to light like 15, 20 feet at a time, so it's going to be very difficult.
Look, guys, as much as I want to push on, I think we should set up a camp. I think we should get a little further away from that fucking guy. But I would like to get to the cabin, but I think knowing this area, we don't want to be out here too long when it's dark out without setting up a camp.
Maybe we shoot for halfway.
I was going to say maybe we just go like 5 or 10 minutes pushing on and then we set up, just so we're down the road from those guys.
Yeah,
All right, that's the consensus?
I would think so.
Yeah.
So, it is very dark. You are literally kind of just like looking at the moon kind of on the trees as you walk forward in a straight line. Cyndaquil is only able to really light 15 feet in front of you, so it's very kind of difficult for you guys to see. However, you guys eventually find a spot where it would be okay to make camp, far away from any animals, far away from any creatures buzzing, far away from anything that you think could come near you, and you start to make a camp. So
Fredrick
now
hits
would
the
be the
deck.
time, though. Just
He-
plops.
He takes his hat. He keeps Cyndaquil out the whole time. Has Cyndaquil kind of lay down next to him, and being a former soldier, people who tend to be in that line of work tend to fall asleep pretty quickly because
Wherever they want.
and wherever they want. So I think he kind of hits the deck and immediately falls asleep.
I see him fall asleep, and I just look over at Jedidiah, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I stammer, and I'm like, alright, well, I mean, I guess we're setting up the camp ourselves.
With the only fire-type Pokemon that can light a campfire.
He's still on fire. I don't think he goes out at any point, right?
I mean, I feel like if he's not conscious, he might be fully out.
Do you want to try to wake the man who has a very, very tentative relationship with you right now to use his Pokemon to light a fire? The man who just went to bed?
No.
I'm shaking.
I'm gonna look at Trigo and say, you want first watch or second?
I think I'll take first watch. And I pull
Okay.
out Abra.
I'm
All
gonna leave Teddy out of his Pokeball and cuddle up with him underneath a tree nearby.
Fair enough. Alright, so Abra took a little bit of damage, episode 0, and we are taking a first long rest, so you guys are going to replenish you guys are going to get hit dice back, so you guys can take a long rest here. Do you get moves back from power points?
Are we using PowerPoints?
Yeah, because we don't have spell slots, and it would be really weird if you could just spam Fire Blast.
Okay, then I'd be down 2 tackles.
Had me
Maybe-
down a few confusions, but I think with a long rest, we should be able to get.
You'll be fine. I'm going to say, actually, if it is a melee attack that is basic, like, for example, tackle is basically like a short sword attack, if I'm using D&D terms,
Right.
or a dagger, those don't need anything. We'll do it on a need-to-know basis. Like, if it's tackle, it's fine. If it's something like smokescreen, though, I'm going to be like, yeah, that's going to have... Like, at one point, Cynical is just going to be like...
Yeah. He will run out of fire in his belly.
So you guys take a full rest. You have no intrusions in the night. You wake up, and you are only... I'm going to say... I know you said an hour. I'm going to say now you're about, like, still an hour away. And you are going to be able to make it clearly. There is nothing else along the route directly. There's something off in the distance. You see another ranch where it appears that there is someone having a little bit of a hard time, but there's also the cottage right next to them that is in the distance that you can see. What do you guys want to do?
I think I turn to the group and I go, gentlemen, as we did not get the briefcase, how are we looking on capital? And Fredrick kind of turns out his pockets, and he has probably like 1,000 pokey, because I think that's what we start with.
I'm going to convert... Damn, I forgot to do that. All my prices are in gold and silver and copper, not pokey.
Okay, then we can do that. That's fine.
Oh, thank God.
That's all right. We can figure that out.
I like to imagine seeing him do this. I put my arm around him, kind of in like, hey, helpful way. Don't worry about that.
Don't touch me.
I'm just trying to help. I pull out my pockets and I just pull out a lot of gold and silver. I'm like, look, we're fine. I have some spare stuff here in the cottage.
He looks at the gold, and then he looks at you, and I think he like goes, can I do a sleight of hand to just take the gold?
Sure.
I mean, I'll just let you have it. I mean, if you take some, I'm very...
Oh.
My family is very like, they're big into philanthropy, so I'm like, dude, if you need some, just ask.
I think he takes the gold and he like holds it up. You can see the reflection of the gold in his eyes. And he's just like, it's the only sign of life you've seen in his eyes this entire time. And he just kind of like puts it in his money pouch right next to where he stores the Pokeballs, and is very satisfied with the small jingle he now has going when in his stride.
And I'm just like looking at Jedidiah. I'm like, kind of do a little shoulder shrug. I'm like, what was that?
Whatever. I'm a little short up on cash too, but I think I got just enough to get by. Let's move on ahead.
Okay.
Question for the table, the DM. Like you said, there's someone who seems to be having trouble.
Just kind of like...
What's that? Can we tell what that is, or is that like perception check needed?
No, I'm going to say that it's something that's generally in a clear enough area you could see it unobstructed. It is a woman in a blue polka dot blouse kicking at the dirt.
I think a woman in need, I mean anyone in need, I'm gonna care for, because I have spent most of my life down on my luck. So I want to walk up to her, probably not even like glancing at my posse anymore. Ma'am, what's the issue?
I like to imagine I'm still in the dress, obviously, like, so I'm just kind of sticking back, like...
Still rocking it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I definitely gave you your hat back, though.
Yeah, I'm looking really out of sorts with the hat, the boots, and the dress.
I like to imagine, I think, Trigo, you are about 10 feet behind Jedidiah, like, you're following behind him, and I'm about 30 feet back, leaning on a piece of farming equipment, just waiting to move on. So this is what she sees when she turns around. A man approaching her, a man 10 feet behind her, and a man 30 feet behind that man.
And the man 10 feet behind is wearing a dress.
Yeah.
Alright, so she's gonna be pretty freaking startled by this ordeal and be like, I got enough trouble before y'all start pushing up against my homestead. And unless you're here to help with that trouble, I don't want to hear anything.
What is the trouble? Maybe we can help.
Well, my family has been raising Mareeps for generations. Penelope Strong here. I have been raising Mareeps since I was a child, and unfortunately, we've run into some bad luck. Some of them have gone missing into the night. We don't know where they went, but all I know is I've counted all of my Mareeps, and I am short 3.
I am still standing there, just deer in a headlight look, like, I can't believe someone's seeing me like this.
Fredrick is waiting for the signal from Jedidiah if he needs to come closer, or if they're moving on, or what he's doing.
I'm going to say, ma'am, they just up and gone? Is there anything that happened in the past few days that would lead you to believe something else was awry?
Well, I haven't found anything. My Marie Poundor just kind of rounded them up when I did a count, and I haven't seen anything. You're welcome to search the premises.
I would love to help, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I think Frederick hears the I would love to help, but without the caveat of for money, sprints the 30 feet up to Jedidiah and just goes, for money, we will help for money.
She's like, I do have some put away. I think, what? Let me think. There's been, I'm missing 3 Mareep. For each Mareep you bring back, I'll give you a gold piece each. I should have enough saved where I can give it to you. I also have some berries on the side I can offer you on top of that.
I'm going to need to see
That's
that
more
gold.
than enough, ma'am. Thank you.
I think Frederick pulls Jedidiah aside, and he looks at Jedidiah and he goes, look, I've got no problems with you calling the shots here, but if we're going to live on the lam here, we need to make some money. We need to do so. Offering up free help and wasting our time when we're on the run from somebody requires more financial compensation than just 1 gold and a handful of berries.
I like to imagine while they're doing this, I just kind of walk up to the lady sheepishly, you know what I'm saying?
Mareepishly.
And I like to imagine I just hand her like 15 gold, and I'm like, use this to pay us. He'll never fucking know.
Can I roll perception to see if I notice?
It has to be with disadvantage because you're talking.
All right.
Roll with disadvantage.
That is a 12, a 16.
You want me to roll sleight of hand?
Sure.
That's like opposed. 13.
Frederick, what is your constitution?
Is 12, right?
My constitution is a +1, so 13.
Does tie go to the defender or the attacker?
I think we said it goes to the attacker the last couple times.
So yeah, you
Sure.
pick it. You successfully pick it.
Oh, I think Trigo probably drops a coin on the ground, and I hear the gentle cling.
And you start scampering for it.
And I'm just like, and I turn around and I see her handing the money, and I go, you're giving her money? We have to hold on to money.
Look, I'm gonna cut in and stop Fredrick here, just like almost grab his face quick and point it back at mine. Look, we're on the lam. Yes, money is helpful. You know what else is helpful? Friends. Friends who can provide things, like shelter and clothes.
Huh. You know, I just remember really frequently in the story, though, that there was some dude offering you shelter, and he was turned away.
That is true.
Just popping that back out there.
He was
too friendly.
Frederick turns it back on him, and he goes, I seem to remember you being rather rude to the last gentleman who tried to be our friend. So which is it, Frederick? Some pretty doe-eyed country girl blinks her eyes at you, and you say, you hop too, and we help her find a Mareep? Or we keep doing what we're doing, and we be banditos.
She shouts over you, 3 Mareep! There's 3 Mareep missing, just so we're good on the numbers.
Thank you. And I turn back to Fredrick. Look, yes, she's a pretty doe-eyed whatever. The issue, to me, is that man seemed pretty well off with his buddy. This woman is in a time of trouble. I don't know about you. It sure seems like you yourself had a lot of trouble. So have I. I got this thing called empathy, where I feel for her. I see myself in that. I see my mother, and I don't want to see my mother feeling sad.
Frederick takes his hat off that he's been wearing, and you see for the first time his hairline has stopped on the left. What would be, if you were looking directly at him, the left side of his head. And he goes, I see that. I used to have empathy until my brother shot me in the back of the head, and his Blaziken kicked me in the chest. So you'll have to forgive me, sir, that I had the empathy shot out of me.
Look, I don't know your story. It sounds pretty messed up. But I don't think this woman is going to hurt us for helping her.
She kind of butts in. She's like, I hate to interrupt, and I understand that all of y'all had your own share of hardship, but at this rate, there's something out there that is probably taking these, and I would like to get to the bottom of it. Now, I can up it to 2 gold, a Marie, but I desperately need you guys to move quickly. If you take it, by all means, go look. If you leave it, carry on.
I think at that, Fredrick walks over to where Trigo is, picks up the gold that he had dropped in trying to do the transaction with the woman, and goes back to leaning on the farm equipment, waiting for Jedidiah to tell him what to do next.
I think I speak to Trigo and the woman and be like, Trigo, you alright to help this fine lady?
Sure, I got nothing better to do.
Alright. Tell Fredrick over there that he can help if he wants, or he can take a nap.
Alright, so I saunter over to Fredrick. I'm like, look, man, you can either nap here, or you can help us. If you help us, it'll go quicker. And I know time is of the essence.
Can I do a quick perception check to see if I see any of them reefs in eyes distance?
Roll perception.
That is a 14.
So while you're scanning the pen that has the Mareeps in it, you notice that there's a part that is broken with blood kind of like dusted along the side of it.
I think I point at that part and I go, there you go, Sherlock. And I point at the thing, and then Fredrick, like, there's probably like a wagon that has hay in it, puts his hat over his eyes and just falls backwards and falls asleep immediately.
Trigo and Jedidiah, can you both roll me a nature check?
Nature?
Yes, which I think is either int or wisdom. I'm pretty sure it's int from last time.
Intelligence, I got a 16.
I got a 4.
Trigo, you know that they're tracks, and they were made by something. Jedidiah, you recognize that they are mighty Anna prints, and they follow into the woods. Now, she asks if you are armed. What do you carry on your person to take care of something like this?
I carry a gun, but it's mostly for show. A very basic 6-shooter. And I think I only have like 6 bullets, but it's just that and Teddy that I keep for protection.
Trigo, she looks at you.
I bring out my pistol, and it is a very flashy pistol. It's definitely not really there to be used. Think like mother of pearl handles. I have bullets in it. I don't know if they're blanks or not, because I don't really shoot. I just have it for show. I'm just asking to be robbed at this point, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay. She is less sure about you. She looks at Fredrick, who is now napping in a hay bale or hay cart.
He has 1 Colt single-action army revolver and a bandolier and Cyndaquil, but you would only know that by looking at his hilt.
All right.
He's still asleep. He is not woken up.
She's kind of like, okay, look, I don't know if you know this, but mighty Annas around these parts aren't exactly nothing to shy away from. So, and she she walks kind of like around and reaches and pulls out a shotgun and just kind of gives it a quick cock, so like a, and then it's like, one of you can take this. It's got 3 rounds of buckshot in it, and it should take care of the mighty Anna a little bit better. If you kill it, maybe you can even keep it. So, who wants the shotgun?
I think I'll probably just reach out for it.
So, she's going to pass it to you, and I think that's honestly a good stopping point.
Thank you for listening to A Fistful of Pokeballs. Jack was our DM, Lucas played Jedidiah, JFK played Trigo, and I, Ryan, played Fredrick. Follow us on Spotify, iTunes, leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. If you've made it through episode 0 at this point, and you haven't given us a follow, you drop a follow, please. It really helps us out, and it lets us know we're going in the right direction. We're a bunch of D&D nerds who have been playing for years and would love to hear from you guys. Anyway, back to the small dark room Lucas keeps me in until I need to do the outro again.